Welcome to the Living the Dream podcast with Curveball. If you believe, you can achieve. Hello and welcome to another episode of Living the Dream with Curveball. I am your host, Curveball, and today I am joined by Roman Mironoff. He is a life coach trained by Tony Robbins, and he specializes in helping people with romantic relationships and living happy lifestyles. Roman, thank you so much for joining me today.
Curtis, thank you so much. It's a pleasure and a privilege, and I'm really happy to be on the show. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Let's start with explaining to everybody who you are and telling people a little bit about yourself and also who is Tony Robbins.
Oh, absolutely. So, I'm a coach, a life coach, and a relationship coach. And my goal is to help people just be happier in their life by helping them accomplish their goals and find out what's important to them and also build great relationships. And Tony Robbins is a great leader in the area of motivation, in the area of self-development, and he is, I think he's like the biggest figure in this domain right now. And I've been his fan for many, many years, and I am inspired by him. He helped me get out of a mild depression once 10 years ago. So I'm a great believer in him. And that's why, yeah, like you mentioned, I took his training.
Well, tell people what made you transition into a life coach.
Well, there were a few reasons. So the first one is exactly this. I'm a great believer in self-improvement and our ability to change ourselves. That was one thing. The other thing was that I went through a painful divorce 6 years ago. And after that, I realized I did not have any relationship skills, really. That was the biggest reason for a failure in my marriage. So I put myself out there. I learned a lot of relationship techniques and skills, and I tested them on myself. And I realized that I now have this knowledge and I am relatable because of the experience of this divorce. So I thought that I could help people with that, definitely. And the third thing was that last year I moved from Russia to Canada, and I had been a translator for 14 years. And I thought that, okay, now that I'm in Canada, I can actually make a career switch, and I should. And that was the first idea that came up to me. So these three things came together for me, and I chose to be a coach.
So, talk about your experiences in Russia and your opportunities there. What were you doing before you decided to become a life coach and before you moved to Canada?
Well, I used to be a translator, so I spent 14 years translating from mainly from English and German into Russian, and I like that because I like languages. But I do believe that with the development of technology such as machine translation, translators are, you know, maybe I should say that they're a dying breed because people no longer need them as much as they used to, maybe 10 years ago. So I do believe that I need to try something different for myself, and that's why I've become a coach. And my experiences in Russia were quite good, actually. I was quite well off because I worked a lot and everything was fine. Russia does have its challenges, but it also has its advantages. So I always did my best to focus on those advantages. But I did want to move to North America because I love it. I love the culture. fell in love with it when I was a kid. And yeah, it's a first world country. Canada is a very impressive country. So the standard of living is very high here. So that was a big reason for me to move.
What part of Russia were you in? Were you in one of the popular parts or one of the poorer parts?
I would say that the region or the province that I'm coming from is the poorest one. Yeah, I'm on the poorest. It didn't really matter for me because my work mostly was online. My my translation work and my clients were international, so I did not really care. But in general, yes, you're right. It's the poorest region,
You also
and
talk. Oh, go ahead.
yeah,
Sorry about
yeah,
that. Go ahead.
yeah. The name of the region is actually Ivanova. It's 300 kilometers from Moscow to the northeast.
Absolutely. You also talk about eating one meal a day and fasting, and you kind of do things different than maybe some of us do. So talk about that and why you decided to do that. What were your health reasons for doing the things that you do to keep yourself healthy?
Okay, sure. So I came to eating one meal a day gradually because I used to eat a lot, maybe let's say 10 years ago when I wanted to gain weight and actually gain muscle. So I would eat like 5 or 6 times. But now I don't want that. And I realized that I don't want that many meals during the day. I actually thrive on just 1 or 2 meals because there are a lot of advantages for me in that regard. Because, for example, I love the fact that when you eat once, your food comes as a reward. It's really, really rewarding. Then I also like to like sort of compartmentalize my day. So I have this compartment of work that I do in the morning, and then the second compartment is rest, and that's when I eat. I like that. I like that efficiency. I like that structure, and it's also very practical because when you eat once a day, you just have to cook your meals once a day. You have to brush your teeth once a day. So I like that, and I feel it's pretty okay. For example, right now my time is 3 p.m. and I haven't eaten today at all, and I feel fine. I feel quite quite energetic, quite joyful, and actually looking forward to my dinner. So that's the reason I eat one meal a day, basically. And of course, I actually lost a lot of weight with this on this protocol. I did not want to do that, and maybe I like overdid it. That's not what I wanted. But yeah, you lose weight on it. So if anyone wants to lose weight, and that's that's a good approach to try. Although it might be difficult. Might be difficult, and that's why I always tell people you have to experiment with it and see for yourself how it works for you. For me, it works quite well.
Did you
And
find? Go ahead.
yeah, as the second question was about intermittent fasting. So basically, I do intermittent fasting by doing this one meal a day program. That's one thing. And the other thing is that I don't eat one day at all. So that's Saturday for me. So my longest fast is from Friday dinner. So that's from Friday evening to Sunday evening. That's about 44 or 44 hours fast. And I think that in general, the health benefits, at least as they say, the health benefits are autophagy, which is cellular cleanup, when the lysosomes of the cells actually consume all the damaged proteins in the cells, so sort of renewing the cells, and it helps you feel renewed, it helps you feel younger. That's autophagy. Then you have the benefit of growth hormone because when you don't eat, your insulin decreases and your growth hormone increases. And these both are quite beneficial. And I like the idea of intermittent fasting because it sort of gives a break to your digestive system. I don't think it's been built, at least that's what I feel for myself. I feel that my digestive system was not built to be digesting food the whole day. Yeah.
How hard was it to discipline yourself to eat just one meal a day? And also, was it a health issue that you decided to eat once a day? Did you have some kind of health issue where you needed to lose weight or something like that?
No, it was just, I came from an efficiency perspective. I wanted to be more efficient and I've been experimenting and I just found that this works for me from the perspective of efficiency. Efficiency and just having a structure to my day. Not like I don't want my day to be broken into compartments by food, by breakfast, by lunch, by dinner. I just like to have two big compartments. The first one, which is work, and the second one, which is rest, eating, family, and so on. And so I didn't really have any health issues or any reasons to try this. I just, sort of stumbled upon this. But I do believe that it has a lot of health benefits. So I, if any one of your listeners feels like they might, benefit from this, maybe they want to lose weight or they think that they might get healthier through fasting, I do recommend trying it, but try and see it for yourself. That's like, don't adopt it just because it's a new fad or a new trend. Try it, experiment.
Do you have any upcoming projects that you're working on as far as a life coach, any kind of books or anything like that that the listeners need to know about?
Not really, not really. Um, I my goal as a coach now is to always be getting better, making sure that my coaching sessions are really really tailored to my clients' needs, and I do understand what they want, what their priorities are, and every time we make sure to work on those priorities. That's my biggest goal for now.
Is there any contact information? So if anybody would like to contact you and check out your work, any websites or anything?
Yeah, absolutely. Please go to my website, which is www.romanmironov.com, spelled as ROMANMIRONOV.com. Hit the contact tab and contact me for a free consultation, and we'll go from there. And if you mention, make sure to do this. If you mention that you're coming off Curtis Jackson's podcast, I'll be happy to give you a 30% discount.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Roman Mironov. Roman, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Curtis. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
And listeners, remember to rate and review the show. For more information on the Living the Dream podcast, visit www.djcurveball.com. Until next time, stay focused on living the dream.